Hey, Carl, thanks very much. I mean, this is a serious global story because it's not only an inflationary story, it's actually a human lives story because it's dangerous to people in England and continental Europe who are facing sky-high bills. I'll get to that in just a second. You know, we talk a lot about the reopening trade, and, well, you only reopen once. And as we've reopened, demand for everything, as we know, has gone up. You just talked retail. Let's talk energy, right? Because look at some of these moves off the lows of the closure back in March. Of course, oil has gone up, but it seems small compared to natural gas in the U.S. That has doubled. Coal prices, they have doubled, but natural gas in Europe up more than 300%, and LNG into Asia up 450% off the March lows. Well, what does this mean? What it means is that the utility companies in the UK and parts of Europe who are having to buy a lot of this stuff on the spot market to meet demand because we've had some weird weather, some renewables like wind here in the UK have simply not performed. They're having to buy this stuff at increased prices. Now, they are not able to pass those prices completely along to their consumers, but they just instituted the biggest single price adjustment jump in the history of the UK. What does that mean? Well, if you're upper middle class or rich, you probably won't even notice. But for those on the lower end of the socioeconomic scale, they're going to see their heating bills doubled if they have not already, in some cases by April. That's according to everybody that we're speaking with. And we spoke to the head of the National Energy Action. That is basically a fuel poverty and energy charity. And he told us that there are some families that are going to have to make some very, very difficult decisions this winter.
The risk is frightening. It's pretty brutal as well. There'll be millions of people who won't be able to heat their homes, make choices between eating and heating, scared of the debt mountain that's coming towards them every time they put the heating on. They'll be in dread of the consequences of it.
So choosing really between heating your home or feeding your family or going deeper into debt, guys, about half the smaller energy players here have gone bust in the last month. They simply can't eat those prices that we showed you and then pass those along. And there is a growing concern, and I'm not going to say it's like the financial crisis, it won't be that big, but there is a growing concern that if the winter is cold and the months go by and prices stay elevated, that many big utilities here and in continental Europe that have millions and millions of customers, they could face the risk of having to be bailed out because they're eating these higher costs, but they can't pass them all along to the consumers as well. The best hope for England right now and much of continental Europe is that it's a warmer than average winter. If it gets colder, the next few months could get a lot tougher for many people here, and it's kind of a lesson globally around the world.